Thank you, Minister. Thank you for gracing the occasion, the 25th anniversary of CNBC. As Shireen mentioned, we are in an election season, so thank you for taking time out from your campaigning schedule. So let me ask you a topical question. We can come to another election maybe a few questions later. But firstly, how are the elections in Maharashtra looking here?
Outstanding. I've just returned yesterday after a tour of Marathwada and Western Maharashtra. At one point of time, a stronghold of the Congress and Mr. Sharad Pawar. But I can clearly see the winds of change even in those areas. Mumbai, Konkan, of course, will be a complete clean sweep for the Mahayuti, the BJP and its allies. But all in all, now everybody seems to have accepted the reality that the Mahayuti government is going to come back. The people of India do want to see a government aligned with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision to make India a developed nation by 2047. And I do think, looking at the kind of governance that the government led by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray had given to this state, people don't want to see a repeat of that. So I can clearly see before my eyes, once again, Prime Minister Modi leading from the front. In fact, he's here this evening at about 4:30 p.m. at Shivaji Park. And we are all eagerly awaiting the message that he will give us today.
So if the Mahayuti were to get a majority, who would be the chief minister? Would it be Mr. Shinde? Has any call been taken on that?
We'll decide that once the elections are over. All the four partners in the alliance will sit down, and just as we've made all the decisions very amicably, this decision will be equally smooth. The good part is all the parties hold Prime Minister Modi in such high respect that they believe that whatever decision is taken collectively by all of them and blessed by Prime Minister Modi will be final.
Because in a sense, the BJP gave up the chief ministership when the Shiv Sena split 2 years back.
I don't agree entirely with that. I think it's not a question of giving up chief ministership or accepting it or demanding it. It's always a consensus that you draw up amongst friends. It has happened in the past. For example, in Bihar, we had many more seats, many more legislators than the JDU. But we still chose to agree to have Mr. Nitish Kumar as the chief minister. So similarly in Maharashtra, we thought that Eknath Shindeji should lead the state the second time around when we came in after 2022. And I think he's done an absolutely fabulous job.
Right. So one of the features of the Maharashtra elections is obviously the Ladki Bahin scheme, which is supposed to be a game changer. But there is also a debate on the culture of revdies and freebies, and both groups, I mean, opposition parties, you often blame the Congress and the kind of, what you call excessive welfare in Himachal and Karnataka. Why is this scheme any different?
First of all, I'll just correct your choice of words. It's not supposed to be a game changer, it is a game changer. And almost every feedback that we are getting seems to suggest that women across the state of Maharashtra, and nearly 25 million women have already received 5 installments of 1,500 rupees each. That's about 7,500 rupees. We plan to increase that to 2,100 per month. So effectively in the next 5 years, every woman in that age group would be receiving nearly 1.25 lakh rupees. In terms of why we believe the scheme is good for the state of Maharashtra and for our women, I'd like to clarify that Maharashtra being a prosperous state and having a good balance sheet, a good budget surplus, a good situation within our fiscal deficit available to be able to fund such a scheme was carefully considered before we launched the scheme. What we have seen happen in Himachal, where even salaries got delayed, forget implementing the promises that they made. What we've seen in Karnataka or Telangana, where huge promises or guarantees were given, and the people were told, khat, fatafat, you'll be getting all of these things. Unfortunately, for several months, if not years, they are still waiting to receive those promises or have those guarantees implemented because the states did not have the capacity in the first place to implement it. Maharashtra, we carefully considered it and it was a part of our budget announcement. So it was not something out of the budget or a future promise which would lead to fiscal imprudence. Second, all of us in this room from the business world know that a twin track approach, on the one hand, deep investments in infrastructure, promoting industry, promoting business, has been the credo of the Modi government. On the other hand, Prime Minister Modi from 2014 has consistently focused on bringing the women of India into the mainstream, empowering them to contribute to the formal economy, empowering them to gradually become equal stakeholders in the national political or economic agenda. Whether it is through the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao program to ensure that the girl child does not drop out of school. And I still remember my son doing a case study in all the municipal schools, even of Mumbai, coming up with a report that lack of sanitary pads and separate toilet for the girl child were one of the main causes for girl children leaving school or dropping out of school in the classes 4 to 6, even in a city like Mumbai. But Prime Minister Modi, coming from very humble background, recognizes all the difficulties our sisters and daughters and mothers have faced. So if you will see his 10 years, whether it is building 120 million toilets to make sure no woman ever has to live a life of indignity, whether it is ensuring every household gets a cooking gas connection so that they are free from the 400 cigarettes of smoke that they have to take in, whether it is making sure that everybody gets access to healthcare through the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, which is now expanded so that all those who are above 70, irrespective of income, will also be covered under an additional 5 lakh rupees for the old people, or whether it is the Jal Jeevan Mission, which has already taken water from a tap directly to 150 homes, and another 2.5 years later will ensure Nal Se Jal, water from a tap for every woman in the country. 43% of our STEM graduates, and we have the world's largest number of STEM graduates every year, are women today. The idea being that we need to get them into the formal economy, we need to get them contributing to national growth, and therefore Prime Minister always said it will be women-led development. It will not just be the development of women. In the political arena, we've ensured that 33% of our members of parliament in the Lok Sabha and all the state assemblies will be women once the census and delimitation exercise is done. Every single aspect of a person's basic needs, Prime Minister Modi has been focusing to ensure that without discrimination, our women folk come up in life, become an equal stakeholder in the economy, and within that, we all recognize that consumption is a very important element to drive the economy. So while infrastructure and industry investments are a major priority, consumption also takes a very important role in national development. 2019, we had come up with a scheme to support our farmers, and nearly 120 or 140 million farming families were given a monthly support so that in the time of an emergency or in the critical times, they have some comfort of money in their pocket. Similarly, I think the Maharashtra government has very wisely ensured that the poor or the lower middle class families, women, have a little freedom, some money in their pocket, in their bank account, given through direct benefit transfer without any middleman, without any corruption. And that gives them the ability, the self-confidence to be independent, to be able to take care of their own, and not to be always stressed out if they want to pay the fees of their children or buy some books for their children, or in Diwali or Dasara or Dhanteras or Christmas or the New Year want to buy some new clothes for themselves, for their children, for their family. These small requirements can be taken care of by them. Similarly, yesterday in Pune, I met one financial market influencer. I think her name was Miss Reshma, chartered accountant called Miss Reshma, who I'm told is guiding all the women who get this Ladki Behna monthly honorarium or support to invest that money wisely through an SIP, through an insurance product, through a savings product. So I think there are several aspects to this which can help transform the lives of our sisters from Maharashtra. And I compliment the Maharashtra government for the very, very timely intervention to support our women.